Hello and welcome to Nurture Academy. Today we are going to learn about work, power and energy. So let's get started. As we all know, work is said to be done when any force moves a body to a distance s. So there are several type of works. Actually work and force, they are related to each other as a dot product of force and displacement. Dot product means that force is a vector quantity, displacement is a vector quantity, but work done is actually a scalar quantity. So W can also be written as Fs cos theta. That is the expand of that dot product. Now work can be of three types: positive work, negative work or zero work. So we can see in the first photograph here that we are seeing the positive work done. In this photograph, a person is pushing the car in this direction. So he is applying force in this direction. As you can see, he is leaning and the displacement of the car is happening at this direction. So force and displacement are at an angle. Okay, so there will be a positive work done. But in the second case, a goalkeeper is trying to stop the goal. In this case, the force, the displacement of the ball is in this direction. The force applied by the goalkeeper is in opposite direction. There is an angle of 180 degree between the force and displacement. So that is why the work done is negative. Now zero work done will be in the case of one lady carrying a purse and walking. You can see with the red line, it is showing the direction of the force and black line shows the direction of the displacement. Same is the case with potter. So the next time we go somewhere and we ask a potter to carry the weight, we can tell him that he is not actually doing some work. Second example of zero work is very simple. When somebody tries to push the wall, obviously the wall will not have any displacement. So again we will have example of zero work done. Let's see one simple numerical how we can calculate the work done. In this numerical, a force is given and the displacement is given. The only thing is force is given in the form of vector and displacement also is given in the form of vector. So all we need to do is F dot R, and we know that when we do dot product we simply multiply I component with I component and J component with J component. In this case the motion is in two dimension, that is why they have not taken the K component. So you can see after solving, the work done will come out to be 7 joules. Second scenario is work done by a variable force. Variable force means that always we will not keep on pushing or pulling anything with the same amount of force. We will always increase or decrease the force. In that case, work is done by a variable force. So we have solved one numerical based upon variable force also. The difference is that instead of writing W is equal to F dot S, we will say dW is equal to F dot ds. Now it is a differential equation which can be solved by taking integral of this whole equation. So we have taken example of a numerical also. Numerical is the force on a body is given as 7 minus 2x plus 3x square. This is in the form of a quadratic equation which is moving a mass of 2 kg. Okay, and the displacement is from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 5. You have to calculate the work done. See, in this question they have given you the mass simply to confuse you. You don't need any mass or anything in this equation. Okay, you just need to integrate and fill the limit. Upper limit is 5, lower limit is 0, and you will calculate the work done. There is one more way to solve this numerical problem. That is, again we are giving the displacement from 1 centimeter to 5 centimeter. But in this case, instead of we are given force in the form of vector, we are given a force and displacement graph. So we should know that work done is equal to area under the force displacement graph. All you need to do is to calculate the area of this irregular graph and it will come out to be 20 erg. Now erg is the CGS unit of work done because SI unit of work done is joule since here the distance is taken in centimeters and actually the force is taken in dyne. So dyne multiplied by centimeter is equal to erg, and 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to the power 7 ergs. Just in case if you have to report the answer in SI unit, you will convert it into joules. Okay, this is a very cool example, work done by a conservative and a non-conservative force. So whenever work is done by a conservative force, work does not depend upon the path followed. As you can see in the first photograph, there are certain people who are climbing this mountain. They can go by this route or they can go by this route. But the work done will remain same because the basic idea is they have gone from bottom to up. Work done depends only on the height and not on the path followed. So that is why this type of work done is called conservative work done. So there are certain forces which will always do conservative work done. Examples are electrostatic forces, gravitational forces, elastic forces, magnetic are some example of conservative forces. But whenever we are doing work done against frictional force, as you can see in the second example, where a man is trying to push some weight up the hill and frictional force is acting in the opposite direction. So in this case, the work is done by a non-conservative force. The another thing which you have to remember about conservative and non-conservative force is that work done over an enclosed path by a conservative force will be equal to 0. Like let's say you climb a mountain and then you come back. So the total work done by you due to conservative force will be equal to 0. But due to a non-conservative force, there will be some work done. Work energy theorem. This theorem is given to prove that work done and change in kinetic energy are similar thing. Means work can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into work. Actually, we already know that we eat food, we get energy, we do work, right? This is how it works. But to prove this theorem, it's actually very simple. You write first work done by variable force. So dW is equal to FdS. Now you know the formula of force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration into ds you will write as such. Now acceleration can be written as rate of change of velocity. So instead of A, we can write dV by dt. In this step you can see instead of A I wrote dV by dt. Now what you need to do is you keep dV as such and this dt you divide here with ds. So change in displacement divided by time is nothing but velocity. So ultimately I got dW is equal to mv dV, and then I will integrate this whole equation to find out the value of work done. So then I will get the relation after integration. Work done is nothing but equal to change in the kinetic energy of the body. This theorem proves that work can be converted to energy and energy can be converted to work. Now this is a very important relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. As we can see here, energy can be written as half mv square and momentum can be written as mass into velocity. When we see these kind of relation, we should know how we can make them equal. So the first relation of kinetic energy, if I multiply and divide by m, then I will get m square v square divided by 2m. So m square v square is nothing but equal to p square. That means kinetic energy and momentum are related to each other as kinetic energy is equal to p square divided by 2m. This relation is used in many numerical problems, but it is very simple. It is just based upon how we see two given equations. Let's see one numerical when we are doing work done on an inclined plane. In this case, it is given that one body is taken over an inclined plane. The body is moving upwards. Okay, the length of the inclined plane is given as 10 meter. And the angle at which this plane is 15 degree, as you can see in this diagram. Now there are two ways of solving this question. One is, you are given force that is 2 kilonewton To convert it to Newton, you will multiply by 10 raised to the power 3. So it will be 2000 Newton actually, force. And you are given displacement also 10 meter. But if you use F dot S, then you require the angle between force and displacement, right? And in this question we are given sin theta. So we will use, our logical sense that actually when you take anything up the hill, the potential energy of the body is changing. So whether it is changing kinetic energy or it is changing potential energy, that one will show up in the form of the work done. As you can see in this diagram, when we are in the bottom of the hill, that time potential energy will be taken as 0. Why 0? Because we are standing at height 0. Okay. Then after some time we are taking it uphill and gaining some height. So that is why we will use change in potential energy. Actually it is mgh, which is 0 in here, and mgh2, which is written as mgh. So change in potential energy will be mgh, and h is related to L as L sine of theta using trigonometric relation. So this is how we can calculate the work done by taking the body uphill. And then we have to learn what is power. Power is defined as the capacity to do work. Okay, like how much work faster we can do. We can also write power as work done divided by time. Okay, so now we can write different formulas of power. Let's say we are not given work done in some question. Instead we are given formula of force. So we will expand work done is equal to force into displacement. As you can see here, work done is equal to force into displacement divided by dt. Now displacement divided by time is nothing but velocity. So power can also be written as force into velocity. Like in some questions, let's say you are not given work done and time. Instead you are given force and velocity. Still you can calculate the power of the given object. This is one numerical based upon if you are given force and velocity, and power you just calculate by dot product, like we calculated work done as dot product of force and displacement. Power is the dot product of force and velocity. So that's all for today. If you like our video, please press the like icon and share our videos and subscribe to our channel for many more videos and making the physics learning fun and nice. Thank you so much.